What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the Mets give us, for the first time in a very long time, a stress free win. And I honestly don't even know how to react to it because I forgot what it's like to have a win where you're sitting back and you just know, okay, the Washington Nationals stink. David Peterson is going out there and throwing the ball well. I forgot what it was like to sit back and actually be able to be relaxed and not worry about them blowing it. Did I slightly overthink when Stanek was coming into the game that maybe it would become closer than it needed to? Yeah, because I'm irrational, because I'm sick in the head, and because this bullpen has given us enough reason as of lately to give us those worries. But I never thought for a second that they were going to lose this game entirely. I figured it might get to the point where you have to bring in, Diaz or something or one of the higher leverage arms. But thankfully, that wasn't the case. And now, with Peterson giving the length, with the fact that Stanek was able to pitch, which is something we haven't seen from him lately, it was nice to see them save the high leverage arms for tomorrow because you had the off day yesterday. Diaz probably needed 2 days off after going 2 innings either way. Gives you more rest for everyone in that bullpen. So it was just nice to see a stress free win. The offense doing what they should be doing to a piss poor pitcher for once in their damn lives. We obviously have news on Francisco Alvarez, which isn't great. But we're going to talk about all of it before we jump in and everything. Leave a like on your way into the show here. Or if you're watching on replay, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially for Mets fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here on the channel. But yeah, I mean, like I said, just really nice to see this offense give a stress-free performance, this team. And you knew from the get-go with David Peterson that he was going to bounce back, striking out James Wood on 3 pitches, first at bat, putting down CJ Abrams on a ground out in 2 pitches, 4 pitches to put Paul DeYoung away. That lineup is so bad that this is what the doctor ordered for Peterson to have a bounce back game. I won't lie, I got very annoyed in the second inning because Jeff McNeil leads it off with a walk, and then you have Mark Vientos hitting into a double play, and I'm like, here we go again with Vientos. But in the third inning, Lindor hits a double, Soto walks, Nimmo gets a single to make it 1-0, and then Jeff McNeil with a double, which made it 3-0. And Mark Vientos, who I mentioned before, who pissed me off before, hits a home run to make it 5-0. And from then and there, it was feet up on the couch. You don't have to worry about this kind of game because, like I said, just easy for David Peterson throughout the entire outing, pretty much outside of 1 inning. And now, if it wasn't for that 1 inning, I mean, he's probably going the full 9 here. Brett Beatty joined in with the offense. Juan Soto did in the 7th with naturally a solo home run. In the 6th inning, like that was the only time Peterson truly struggled, and I did worry. Okay, are they going to make it a bit closer than it needs to? Because he allows that leadoff double to Chaparro, who, for whatever reason, is the only one that was able to do anything. Jacob Young hit a single, and once the top of the order came up with 2 on and 1 out, I started to worry a little bit and think, okay, is David Peterson going to fold a little bit? And, I'll take the volume that you got from him for the most part. I'd like to see him finish the inning. But at the same time, is this going to be problematic to where you're going to have to use multiple relievers? But thankfully, that wasn't the case. He ends up getting out of the jam. And in the 8th inning, he faced a little bit of trouble as well, but he did a good job, as he usually does, with getting out of the jams. He allowed a triple to Dylan Cruz, allowed a walk, gets a tailor-made double play, which is the David Peterson special. I don't know what deal with the devil he made to get all these double plays, and I'm half joking about that part, but it brought in a run. But 7-1 sucks that he lost the shutout there. Puts Jacob Young down on strikeouts there, and then Jeff McNeil added it in the 9th inning offensively, and Ryan Stanek comes in and for the first time gives a stress-free outing because it's crazy what happens when he just throws strikes. I was worried when he went to the mound that it was going to be the typical Stanek where high pitch count, we're sweating, loads the bases, either allows a grand slam and it's close, or he just gets out of the jam. But I'm not killing Mendoza for going the stack there. I mean, that's where you put Ryan Stanek into a baseball game when you are up by this many runs or down, which hopefully that's not going to be the case against a piss poor Nationals team. But now they found a way to win 3 in a row. And, after seeing this game tonight, I am sorry. I'm not accepting anything less than a sweep against this team. I'm sorry. Whether that's fair or not, whether it's, oh, we'll win a series and that's okay. No, 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 no. No. That team stinks. Like, you're telling me that Andres Chaparro was their best bat tonight? And I get that James Wood and CJ Abrams, even though they went 0-4 tonight, are respectable names. But this team has Paul DeYoung hitting third in 2025. Josh Bell hitting cleanup. Riley Adams was hitting fifth for them. Sweep this team. There are no excuses not to. And especially with, when you went against Irvin tonight, to me, it's like you got to jump on him offensively. And thankfully they did. Which, listen, I still want to see this against good pitching. I'm not going to sit here and take it away from them doing it against the bad pitching because lately they have not been doing it against the bad pitching either. So I'm not going to sit here and, complain when they're not hitting the bad pitching and then sit here and complain when they're hitting the bad pitching. But I'm going to look at this objectively and say, good, do what you need to do against these teams. That is awesome, but I am going to need to see it against the good teams as well. You face Brad Lord tomorrow. Mackenzie Gore, he hasn't been as sharp lately. So, to me, you got to sweep this series. No excuses. The thing that is positive, though, about the offense tonight is that they scored runs once the bullpen came in for the Nationals, which, again, that bullpen stinks, so it's not much to parade about, but at least they hit against a bullpen for once. And the other thing, if you're going to look at a positive from the lineup, Lindor's been carrying a lot of the weight lately. And it was really nice to see Brandon Nimmo have a multi-hit game since he's been struggling lately. Jeff McNeil giving you a 3-for-4 day. Vientos hitting a home run. It was nice to see everyone get involved outside of Alonso, who was the only one that went 0-4 in this game. Outside of that, everyone got a hit. And Lindor, I mean, up until he got that hit, he struck out 3 times as well throughout this game. So it was nice to see them not rely on Lindor for once in a win as well. Let's get to Alvarez, though, because that's obviously a hot topic right now. And it freaking sucks so much that he's probably done for the year. I'm not even going to entertain the whole, maybe he plays before getting the surgery thing. I'm not entertaining it because I don't want to see him play unhealthy. I don't want to see him play at 50% or whatever he even is percentage-wise. I'm sorry. As good as Alvarez has been lately, and that's what sucks, is that he was giving you the best baseball we have seen Alvarez play in his career. Like, even though in that 2023 season, he had 25 home runs, which I know isn't good according to Chavez, but this stretch, ever since he got called back up, is the best baseball we have seen from Alvarez. And it's so annoying that now you lose that when you finally see just some sort of semblance of the prospect we were promised with this kid. It sucks so much that now it's stripped away from us at this time because of a headfirst slide, which I never want to see him do again. And I got to be honest with you, I'm worried going forward with this thing, considering the fact that this is now what his third hand injury. It's one thing if, this was the first time it happened, or it's just something or even if it was a different part of the body where it's kind of like a one and done injury. It's worrying me that this is now the third time he needs surgery for his hand, or second time needs surgery, third injury, whatever it was. That scares me, to be completely honest with you. Because why is this a reoccurring thing? And for a catcher, nonetheless, that's very worrisome, because what if he gets, and I know none of them have happened from catching, but what happens if one day a foul ball hits him in the hand the wrong way? What happens if he catches a ball awkwardly and it just hits his wrist or something? So going forward, I'm very concerned about, is this going to be a reoccurring thing with them? And if so, listen, the Mets will have more information than I'm going to have, than we're going to have. But all I could say is that if the front office has enough data to know if this is going to be a reoccurring thing, which again, only they'll know, they're going to have to act accordingly this winter. And, we'll talk more about that when that comes around. But it's just, it's very frustrating that this is happening again. Because I want to see this guy develop into the prospect we were promised. And again, we were finally seeing some semblance of that over this past month or so. And, if this is going to be a thing where this is an issue going forward, to where he's going to miss time throughout his career a lot with these injuries, with these hand injuries, that that concerns me, and that's very frustrating if that's the case. But either way, I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the chat about this game before I wrap things up here. Well, what do you know? A nice stressless win. We love those. Got to keep it, though, full pedal to the metal till the end. 1,000,000% on that one. Got to take care of business against these bad teams. And, again, that's the other thing that I'm going to sit here and say I'm not going to complain about it, because they weren't beating the bad teams before. Like, that's the other thing we're forgetting. They weren't beating some of these bad teams. The Nationals are another level of bad, don't get me wrong. But you got to beat these teams. Massive credit to Peterson for sure. 1,000%. 8 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run, 4 hits against. The 10 strikeouts is huge for me, because he's usually someone that relies on the groundouts. To see him get that much swing and miss, especially on the changeup today, he had 7 whiffs on 12 swings on the changeup. Just really nice to see from David Peterson. Again, it's against a bad lineup, but it's encouraging that he bounced back, because the Braves have not been playing good baseball lately either, and he struggled. So, and I'm with you, Ray. I'm not fully pulled in either. I'm feeling better than I was a couple days ago. I'm unfortunately not pulled all the way in either. To me, next week is going to tell me a lot about if I should be pulled back in. I mean, even this week too. You got to take care of business against the Nationals, and you got to take care of business against the Braves. To me, you have to go 5-1 on this road trip at the minimum, because you need to sweep the Nationals, and at worst, you lose one game against the Braves. And then when you play the Phillies, this stretch in general, the 9 games, including tonight, this is going to tell me if I should be roped in or not. And, Again, that's a we'll wait and see type of thing. That's a time will tell sort of thing there. And I hope that they wrote me back in. I want to be wrote back in badly. I want to look like an idiot for the things I said last week, even a couple days ago. I want to look stupid. But unfortunately, it's the wait and see game. Because if this team could claw themselves into a spot where they could still win the division, even, it's encouraging to me. Unfortunately, they didn't get help from the Mariners tonight, who it was a tie game, and I thought maybe the Mariners were actually going to win the game. But unfortunately, the Phillies have a competent closer now to shut down games for them. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Matt. I didn't think they were going to lose the game. I just got worried that they were going to have to use Edwin Diaz or a high leverage arm because of Stanek being making it closer than it needs to be. That's what I thought was going to happen. Wasn't worried, but I was worried just for a different reason. I wasn't worried they were going to lose. I was worried that you're going to have to use another top end arm. And I don't get this either, how he's not wearing the oven mitt when he's running the bases, especially if you're going to head for a slide, which, oh, the only thing is that he was trying to stretch it into a double, so he's not going to have the oven mitt on there. But I get what you're saying. He's got to start doing feet first slides. And I hope this happens. I hope. If this is the case, puts them in a spot where they could win the division. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live here on Met Central. And I'll see you guys in the next one.